Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Saturday and it is 12 noon. I am so glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with me for a couple of minutes on today. I'm not going to hold you long, but I just want to thank you guys as I always do. And I want to try and leave you with something that can encourage you on today. As always, I like to give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. I talk about my mentor all the time because Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And I tell you, Dr. Hunt is, a person that has been with me through good times, bad times. He's helped me navigate through some of the more adventurous times in life that we all go through. So I talk about him because he is important enough for me to be able to call a mentor. And I encourage you all to get a mentor, somebody that you can look up to, walk through this life with, go to in case of situations and circumstances where things can be, you have no idea how the outcome can be. Well, they can help you navigate. They pray for you. They help you through all sorts of situations. So get a mentor and then be a blessing to him and his family, just like they will be a blessing to you and yours. So that's my mentor shout out each and every time. Well, today, as you can see, I got something that's been, in my spirit, as you might say. There is a time and a season for ! I like to use this opportunity every Saturday to talk about what's on my heart, what my week, how my week has been going and what to look forward to in the upcoming week. And, this week I took a step back and I looked and I began to look around the world and I began to understand some of the things that's going on. And some people may not have, verbalized these things, but, this is a time and a season for war. I'm going to say that again. This is a time and a season for war. We got wars over in Europe. We got wars in the Middle East, which is Northern Africa. We've got wars going on right here in the United States. And if you don't know what the time and the season is, you won't know how to act. You won't know how to not be in the wrong place. And what you mean by that? When you talk about seasons, in Chicago, we have the, I don't know if it's a privilege or honor or not, but we get all 4 seasons. We get winter, we get spring, we get summer, and we get fall. And out of the 4 seasons, if you are from Chicago, you know how to dress for those seasons. You know that in the wintertime, you better put a coat and a hat on, a scarf, some boots, some gloves, because it's going to be cold outside most times. We got season with global warming, so we might have some warm days, but on most days in the wintertime, if it says the season is winter, you're prepared for that winter season. If it's summertime in Chicago, which most of us enjoy, you don't need that heavy coat and that winter hat. You don't need those boots, galoshes. So you're prepared for that season that we're experiencing. Well, that's the easy one because, you're able to look at the calendar, you're able to look outside and determine what season that we're involved in. Well, when you're dealing in a season of war, you may not know it unless somebody tell you, oh, it's a war going on outside. Oh, really? I tease people all the time about the west side of Chicago. The west side of Chicago is a very violent, brutal place. Then they turn around and tell me, so is the south side. Yes, they're correct. If you go any place in the city of Chicago looking for trouble, you can find it. Because trouble is out there everywhere. Okay? And then sometimes you don't even have to look for trouble. Trouble will find you. You could just be standing downtown on Michigan Avenue and all of a sudden a police chase be going on. And you could wind up involved in something that you had no intention when you left your house to be a part of. But it can happen. But you look around the world and you see Russia and Ukraine, you see Israel and Lebanon, Beirut. There's war going on many continents, and many countries are involved in war, including the United States. We're involved with Ukraine by supplying them supplies. We have a war going on in the United States because on the southern borders of the United States, there have been migrants coming in who they say, and I'm going to say they, because I have not witnessed it for myself, criminals coming in from other countries through the southern border, and then the governor of Texas declaring them criminals and then sending them all to all the Democratic cities all across the United States, weaponizing people that are looking for a place to stay and make a better life, but they made them criminals and they weaponized them by sending them places where they now say are doing criminal activity. Well, that's a war. That's a war. There's a war between the Republicans and the Democrats right now on who's going to be the next president of the United States. And I like to think that this is going to be a history-making moment in time, because we have a Vice President Harris who's running, and she is, appearing to know what she's doing and appearing to be qualified to do the job. And, you have to ask yourself, what side of history are you going to be on? Because we're in a season, a time and a season to make history. Okay? Now, I like what President Obama said on this week. He approached the microphone and he said to people that there are folks out here that are having a hard time wrapping their minds around the fact that there's a woman that is qualified to run this country. Well, some old prejudices and some old attitudes that have flared up, that have not gone very far in the first place, but have flared up and on the forefront of like, can't no woman tell me what to do, especially no woman of color. No. I mean, and that's coming from both males and females. They have a problem with that. And I think that in order to be on the right side of history, you need to first make up your mind that you're going to vote, because sitting on the sidelines not voting will have the opportunity for people to get in office because they didn't have the right folks voting against them. I'm going to say that again. The popular vote, which will allow Congress to be refilled with the wrong folks. When I say wrong folks, I'm talking about megas, evangelicals, cult factions that are out there pushing their agenda, a racial agenda, because if they get their way, then people that look like me, I know I'm kind of light-skinned because of the camera, but the people that look like me, our principles and our priorities will not get met. Okay, they have an agenda where they would love to see, us back on a plantation picking cotton free of charge for them. Okay, which is how America got its wealth in the first place, off of the backs of free labor. And they don't want us to talk about it because they don't want people to be, as they call it, woke. Yeah, well, we're woke. We got eyes wide open, but there are some people that are afraid of what it looks like to have a woman, first of all, and then a woman of color in the highest office of this country. Now, other countries have done it, and they didn't crash and burn. And, I know some Europeans, don't feel like a woman should have the ability to be able to do anything. They don't even want them to be able to make a decision whether or not they can have a baby or not. Oh, no, you're going to have that baby. Then what you going to do with it once it get here? Now you're going to be barefoot and pregnant, tied to the stove? That was a mentality that used to exist at one time. And I want y'all to fact check this. Black folks got the right to vote before the woman did. Check your books. Go to the Constitution. Find out when the amendment came in for women to have the right to vote. Okay? So there's people in this country that's got issues. President Obama called it out on this week that some folks still got issues. We need to get past that. And I'm going to ask the question, what side of history are you going to be on? We got less than 20 days left, or 20-something days left before the presidential election. And to me, the most important thing in that election is who your local official is that you're going to send to Washington, D.C. to represent you. Now, if you want a person that wants to maintain the status quo, then you go right ahead and keep on sending those idiots back up there to Washington, D.C. But if you want to execute change, and this is the golden opportunity to execute change, it's a time and a season to bring about a change, then you need to vote for somebody that can help the incoming president come in. And I ain't talking about that mega foolishness. I'm talking about Vice President Harris going into the Oval Office with the right people in Congress to help her build an agenda that can help us middle class, poor, underprivileged, seniors, young people, all of us that need help. Okay? I was talking to somebody on this week, and we were talking about the 1%ers. Everybody forgets that 1% of the wealthy push the buttons of what happens in this country. They don't pay taxes. They create situations and circumstances that we, the less fortunate, that don't have enough money to buy our way out of it, have to pay for. They raise the price of food on us. I tell people all the time, they blame President Biden for the price of groceries. President Biden don't own no grocery stores. The price of bread and milk comes from the people from the grocery chains. They say, oh, we got an opportunity to make some more money. They making money. They don't care if you eat or not. They are making money off of us in large profits, and they're not feeding it back to us in any kind of way. They're not giving us no breaks. The farmers, they're struggling. Because if we can't afford to buy it, what happens to it? They're not giving it away. I remember a time when a farmer, which was part of a principle, that once they harvested their fruits and vegetables and sent to market, that the people in the local communities used to be able to come down to that same field and be able to get enough fruits and vegetables to feed their family, because it was just that much left over. Those principles have gone astray. They don't do it no more like they used to. So there is a time and a season for everything under the sun. But what side of history are you going to be on? Do you understand what season that we are in? We are in the midst of a war. We're on the verge of a civil war. The media on yesterday announced another warning that we are very close to the edge of another January 6th insurrection. There are people that are ready to go to war to fight because they want things to be their way. Okay? This is not the good side of history to be on. When Trump declared that he would free everybody that was involved and has gone to jail with the January 6th insurrection, he validated them by telling them, you're heroes, you're prisoners of war. Did you hear what I'm saying? Trump has declared that they are prisoners of war. So for those of us who have not heard the shots fired, the shots have been fired. It's a time and a season for everything. We're in the time and the season for war. But if we can vote on the right side of history and vote, first of all, vote. Make up your mind to vote. Put all your petty foolishnesses to a side. Let's vote for some people in our local communities that can go to Washington and D.C. and help make things better, not continue the chaos and the rhetoric that's going on. And I know I'm ranting and raving, but I want you to understand that we are on the verge of making history. And I just want you to be on the right side of history. There's a time and a season for everything. Okay? It's a time and a season for everything. And I'm encouraging you on today to pick a side. Pick a local official that's running for office that has the same values and opinions that you share. And let's do something to support them, vote for them, to keep them encouraged. Don't sit on the sidelines and let somebody else make decisions for who runs your local government. Small government is up for election too. State officials, local mayors, they're up for election. Let's pick some people that share your concerns, that can go down and talk to Walmart and tell them, hey, cut back on some of the prices of bread and milk because my people in my town need to eat and the babies need to drink milk. So stop trying to price gouge. Come on now. It's not on the president to do that. It's on the local government and the local officials to have a say on what's going on. So we need to encourage them. If you want my vote, stand up and do something to earn my vote. Last week they had a guy knocking on my door talking about, do I want to sign a petition for a local alderman? I said, well, who's running? And they told me who was running. I said, well, I know him very well, and if he going to get my vote, he going to get my vote. I said, who's running against him? He wouldn't even tell me. And whoever the person is running against them, they need to be knocking on my door so I can know who they are. So I got options. So I can exercise my vote to the best of my ability and to the best of my advantage that's going to benefit me and my community. All right? And you all have the same right privileges too. If you are a woman, please stand up and vote, and don't get caught up in the can't a woman do nothing for me attitude because I'm a woman. Can't a woman do nothing for me because I'm a woman? No, don't do that. This is her time. This is her season. Support her. Vice President Harris. This is her time. This is her season. Support her. And let's support her all the way through by giving her members of Congress that she can work with and they can get some things done. Okay. There's a time and a season for. Check it out, y'all. All right, I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to please check out all of my advertisers. They make it possible for me to do what I do. All right. These are just a list of few of them. When you get over to the website, browse around. We have affiliates, people that we work with, people that are supporters of what I do, and I support what they do. So please go over to the website, support what we do. I want to encourage you all to join me on Tuesday. I've been running a series now of all of the recipients of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And we have a very powerful queen coming on this coming Tuesday, Miss Doris Gales. And if you don't know, you need to tune in and find out. This is the first time that she's ever been on the show, and I'm so excited to have her on the show because she's got a story to tell. And I'm looking to be able to allow her to tell her story in its entirety. So Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We go live at 5. You don't want to miss it. Join me each and every Tuesday, 5. Miss Doris will be on here this Tuesday. Tell somebody. Doris going to be on the TV. Yes, she will. She's going to be on the show with Dr. Ron this coming Tuesday. You don't want to miss it. I also want to remind you guys to join me each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron. This is where I tell you what's on my heart, what's on my mind, what's in my spirit. Please join me. You know, it's inspirational to be able to express what I'm going through, and I know people are going through the same thing, but I get a chance to talk about it publicly. So join me each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron. I also want to thank all of the people that have made contributions and donations up to this point in time. Thank you so very much. Your donations help make it possible for me to do what I do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. These are all the ways that you can make contributions and donations. Just click any one of those opportunities there. There's no amount too big, no amount too small. Thank you so very much. And while you're here, please subscribe, like, and share. Hit that subscribe button, like button, and send it to a friend. There's somebody undecided about what time and season we're in. You know, this is the fall season. The weather has been good, and it's been kind of crazy that night. And during the day, we got up to 80-something degrees yesterday. So, you know, you got to wear a coat and a hat at night. You know, during the day, you might be able to get away with a light jacket. So know the season that you're in, okay? That's important to know, so you know what to put on and know what to take off. All right, that's it. I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. You all be encouraged. Stay blessed. I look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday. Don't miss this show. I love you, and ain't nothing